Okay, Nina Francus is a writer by night and an employed individual by day. She adores the bizarre, fantastical and melancholy and combats writer's block with the help from her trusty motto. Yeah, and I know this one. She does this when I'm trying to get her to critique my work. When in doubt, escalate. She's an apologetic Francophile, originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the northeast corner of the United-ish States of America. She currently resides in Paris and subsists on a steady diet of political anxiety, literary ambition, and pain au chocolat. She has come all the way from Paris to read her story. Now, in the programme, I left out a comma, sorry. To wander, comma, lost.
Tip this down a tiny bit because I am not a tall person. To wander, lost. You never forget the place you've never been. Mine was Venice. I was 9 years old and had a book about 5 swarthy teenagers who lived under the canals. They were singular neighbors to an abandoned cathedral whose stones were parched and charred, iridescent with lichen. Shorn window frames sighed with the breeze, and a single tower bore aloft, for spite, or show, or heaven's sake. My father had other ideas. He was a mailman by day and an Incan at heart. Maybe that explained my love of religious revel. Machu Picchu. Dad chewed the words hard, like first bites into sicky sweet bubblegum. In our living room sat the glowering figure of an unpronounceable god, 6 inches high and blessed by a one-eyed witch doctor. Dad rubbed the feathery head every day and never got a step closer. His wallet could not withstand the journey. The dearest member of our household dreamt of gently curving blades and highlighter hair, a land where the sky is kitten-shaped in its off hours and no one towers over a wheelchair. But his publication rights were limited, and time stifled further volumes. He never saw the neon lights or bullet trains. At 17, I cleared Little Tokyo out of our house. Comics, posters, a wishful kimono, because our father could not. The monthly bills stopped then, and there was money to spare, but it was ugly, ignoble, and Dad wanted it gone. So I furnished a furnace, enrolled in school, for business, and then Italian, a natural, indulgent balm. After all, I had grown up gondola-shaped, rocked in a chrysalis of cut glass and chiaroscuro. Postcards bolstered the walls of my dorm room, and perhaps my professor could scent the unsent missives. There was a summer program in Rome, and she clipped the brochure neatly to my final exam. A whole month, with weekend trips to Milan, Florence, and Venice. Dad agreed to pay, but insisted I pack the smallest suitcase in the house. Perhaps he predicted the dangers of winged lions and golden spires wound with angels. I suspect he envied the sway of far away, but could no longer bear it himself. 4 walls and a roof had once held him in. Now they held him up. His shoulders stooped as he helped me pack. I slept through the flight and dreamed of canals. They were thick, gelatinous rivers I breathed through my ears. I squirmed in my seat until the jolt of wheels on asphalt woke me. Between classes, I circumambulated. Rome impressed, but did not suit me. Everything oozed obsolescence, from the slouching river to the tracks of architectural crumble. The summer passed. Rome, Milan, Rome, Florence, Rome. I woke at sunrise that final weekend and sat by the window. Morning splashed the sky as I clutched a weathered children's book. The broken spine split around stained pages, folded corners, and the whiff of happiness. At 8 o'clock, 57 quasi-Italian speakers gathered in the entryway, followed by 2 professors and a guide. The walk to the train was downhill, and my impatience brimmed over the pavement, scattering loose change and cigarette butts. At the end of the road, we were greeted by an angry mob. Transportation attendants ringed the station, complete with an arcade of policemen. Words flew sharp and loud. Our guide was arguing with a policeman, spluttering something about the train schedule and dysfunctional sindicati. A single word winged over the crowd. Sciopero. One professor extracted her phone. With every scroll, her face tightened. This was not, after all, the land of stars and stripes. Strikes did not break out like bar fights. Trains did not dismantle from 30 years of planned negligence. There had to be buses, shuttles, rickshaws, anything. A uniformed man shouted over the crowd. 2-day strike, nationwide, limited regional service only. The blows fell, ironclad, and I staggered. An army of feather-headed gods could not produce 60 tickets to Venice over an Italian picket line. Our guide knew as much. He returned to the group, muttering apologies, and began reciting the virtues of Tivoli. Only an hour away. Hadrian's summer home. Better something than nothing. Blood rushed to my ears, and a vivid picture of my calendar slid, sluggish, through my digestive tract. The flight to some overpopulated coastal city, the bus ride home, the extra days I hadn't bought because it was July and a year-old grave needed visiting. I melted from the crowd, waning through the city. The empty streets were a relief to my pounding heart, but I did not know it. I couldn't feel the pavement or sunlight, the foggy mantle of a night unslept, the tremulous betrayal of a bag already packed. The last I felt, on my long walk to nowhere, was the collapse of a paper cathedral. It slipped between my fingers, ink stains and creases intact, to join 5 swarthy companions in their fast-flowing